reading comprehension 85%. Your rating for the structured online interview will comprise 50% of your total rating, while the other 50% will be derived from your general rated average based on your submitted Form 138 by school card or TOR performance quiz.
Okay.
Everything here
Let me end this. Let me rewrite lang muna the problem ha. Kay video din nakikita. So, the problem is we have a 6-meter long, simply supported, reinforced concrete beam has a width. Okay, butang ko dida. The width is okay. The width is B pala. The width is 350 kmm and the overall depth, the H is equal to 470 mm. The beam is reinforced with 228 mm compression bar.
What makes civil engineers different from other professionals engaged in design and construction industry?
28 millimeter diameter tension bar. Ay, compression bar pala. This is compression bar. And for 28 millimeter diameter tension bar. Mhm. At the bottom, each located 70 mm from the extreme concrete fiber. So yung D prime natin dito is 70 mm. Okay, concrete strength FC prime is also given, that is 20.7. This is in megapascal. And of course, yung Fy, which is 415 megapascal. Okay, we are to determine the following. Kalibutan ko dito ha. Number 1, okay, yung una, depth of the compression block, assuming both tension and compression still yield. Okay? Okay, yung A. Number 2, what is the ultimate moment capacity of the beam? Ultimate moment capacity, this is the MU. And letter C, determine the additional concentrated load, live load that can be applied at the midspan if the dead load, including the weight of the beam, is 20 mm, 20 kilonewton per meter. So, yung additional concentrated load at the midspan. APLL yung hinahanap. Given is W dead load, which is equal to 20. Okay. Let me present to you again the problem. So the given is the dimension of the beam 350. So i-drawing natin ha. This is we have wait lang ha. Hello. Hello? Can you hear me? Am I
Yes,
muted
sir.
naman? Okay. So, let me draw the, ano ha? Nasa rin din himila. Daw kita beam. The dimension of the beam you have there, 350 yung width niya. Yung total height niya is, pero daw, ang total height, 470, di ba? Mm. Tapos may reinforcement. The distance of the reinforcement from the extreme fiber, 70, di ba? Naya ka na problem. This is 70 mm. This is also 70 mm. And the distance naman from the extreme fiber to the tension is D. So pero ito niya 470 minus 70, 400 obviously. This is 400, di ba? And yadi this is duha nga 28 mm diameter and ay ubos upat nga 28 mm diameter. Okay? Okay. Na kan take note and ya kan di assuming daw both assuming tension bar and tension bars and compression bars yield. Okay? Ibig sabihin, nag-assume kita rin ang tension bars and compression bars nag-yield. Okay, so ating papabiling din. Okay, so this is the given. We are to solve for the value of the value of the depth of the compression block, MU and PL. Okay, take note, yung A natin, we are to assume na tension bars and compression bars yield. Okay? Kasi aton isosolve dida. Pero kung pananglitan, okay, dito kasi word exam, sugod inidana itpagkuan, di ba? Masaring nasa didahit kuan, didahit problem. You are to assume nga nag-yield and duduha nga steel bar. Tapos pag-check ngayon nimo, waray mag-yield. So, ang pipiliun. O, susundon nimo kung ano it instruction didahit question, di ba? Na kind question, you are to assume that the tension bars and the compression bars yield. Okay? So that's what we are going to do here. Okay, pero explain ko gihap, what if waray magyakan nga iga-assume nato. So basta lang kita hindi niya the approach is in SCP 2015. Of course, di ba, we can solve immediately for the value of A, di ba? Di ba, asset in step number 1 na natin solution. But take note, diri pa kita maaram kung doubly or singly reinforced. Di ba, asset an natin approach, una, diri kita maaram pa kung doubly or singly approach. So, pananglitan lang ha, do awilaan na kita yan nga mga question. Kaya diri pa man kita pananglitan, diri pa kita sure nga doubly reinforced. So it first step talaga ito is to determine the value of A. Okay? Kasi ito ang pinakauna nga steps. Okay. Step 1. Or 1 na lang. We are to solve for the value of 8. Atong kagamiton din nga formula. You cannot use the formula for Mn, di ba? Because waray ka-valuehan Mn. That imo gagamiton din is T is equal to C. Diba? As ito yung kukuan, may mo assumption, singular reinforced, tapos nag-yield. Ano yung steel? As ito yung mga assumption. Okay, so this is AS Fy. This is equal to 0.85 Fc prime AB. Masasolve ni mo diretso an A, diba? Everything is given. Okay, sige daw. Ano ang value ng AS? Isolve daw natin didi ang AS laan para dili kita magbalik-balik. Your AS is equal to upat daw. Upat daw nga 20, di ba? 4 times pi over 4 times 28 squared. So this is your AS. Your AS is equal to
7845.
7845. Sige daw.
Pi.
Sige. Ano na? Sige daw. Mas open ako ikaw magsusolve. Pero ini an AS 7
84.
4 pi. This one? This is in mm squared. How about yung AS prime? We have AS prime here to denote compression, di ba? Pag may prime nga, compression ito niya. So, peraan compression bars dito duha daw, di ba? 2 times pi over 4. This is 28 squared. Pera man in an AS prime. Katunga. Pera man, ito ng katunga.
392 pi.
392 pi mm squared. Okay, so you have the value for AS and AS prime. Okay, sa tayo bubutang dilihan, nag-assume kita dilihan, step number 1 nga is singular reinforced. Pananglit pa kita maaram nga double reinforce ha. And even though may niya reinforcement, ini ha? Even though may niya reinforcement habaw-baw, doesn't necessarily mean that the design of the section is doubly reinforced ha. It could be nga may dito reinforcement habaw-baw just for para lahiya may makapitan yung ano yung tawag ito an stirrups. Di ba? Can you connect stirrups? Di ba? It's so right aton beam nasugad. This is the main reinforcing bar. May tidak ubos. May diha may habaw may ubos. Di ba nasugad? Tapos meron naman dira na parang naka-anchor nga mga stirrup nasugad. Nagigets ninyo? Di ba nasugad ito? Sugad. I don't know if nagigits nito akong drawing. Di ba siya ito niya, tapos ari naman didian concrete naman nimo, nasugad ang nimo concrete. Di ba? Sugad ito. Anyway. Basta, it-aad habaw-baw, it could be nga diri hiya nakakabulighan kuan. Nakakabulig di. What I mean is diri hiya upodhan pag-compute han strength han imo kuan, han imo section. Kay kuan hiya para may makapitan lang imo kuan, an imo stirrups. Okay, so that's why nag-assume lang kita nga singular reinforced. Let's i-check natin if indeed that is doubly reinforced, di ba? So your ES here is equal to 784 pi. Oh, you are assuming nag-yield and still, that's why Fy atong gagamit. Fy is equal to 415. This is equal to 0.85. Your FC prime is 20.7. Multiplied by A, that's the unknown. Multiplied by B, wala nang space. Let me erase again. 0.85 multiplied by FC, which is 20.7. Multiplied by A, multiplied by B is 350. So you can solve for the value of your A. Operate A. Ito daw, 784 pi multiplied by 415 divided by 0.85 times 20.7 times A times 350. You can solve for the value of A. That is 165.98. Did you get the same answer?
Yes, sir.
This is 0.98. This is in mm. Diba? Step number 2, we are to check if indeed ang ating assumption are correct. Paano natin i-check? Kung sulog ni mo ang C, ano mo C? C is equal to A over beta 1. Diba? Beta 1 natin nga gagamitin is 0.85 because the value of Fy, of Fc prime is less than 28. Diba? Less than 28 here. So, with aton beta 1 is 0.85. So, this is equal to 165.98 over 0.85. What's the value of your C? Pera? So, kuya A over 0.85. The result is 195.27. This is in mm. Okay. Compare mo si max, di ba? 3 over 7 multiplied by D. What's the D? D is 400. 400 ha? Ang given kasi is total height. And D, imo paging compute 400. Pero in here, 3 over 7.
171.
171?
171 and 428.
429. 171.42. 429. This is in mm. Okay, obviously, an imo si nagsobra si max. So indeed, we are in doubly reinforced. The problem is doubly reinforced. Okay? So doubly reinforced man. Okay? 'Di ba kung design problem anat gibubuhatan si, 'di ba kung ES ang ginbibiling, ang gibubuhat natin nan si gini-impose natin here in solving for the value of m and max, 'di ba? In solving for the value of in solving for the value of your m and max, gini-impose natin in here. Okay, kasi i-compare natin ang m and max to the given value of mu. Takay diri man, baliktad man. Okay? Last time an aton problem, given an mu, gimpapabiling an ES and ES prime. Okay? Yan na baliktad, given an ES and ES prime, di ba given? Ada man. Oh. Gimpapabiling an ada man, mu ang gimpapabiling, di ba? Mu. So baliktad. So kung sugad nga nini, adi this is design problem, adi this is investigation or analysis. So, gin-analyze natin kung ano bit capacity itong nga section. So, what will you do? Na-found out nimo nga mali nimo assumption, you go back to step number 1. Ibig sabihin, doble reinforce siya. Okay. So, amo yung bubuhat ha. Pero obviously, this is doble reinforce kahit pakianad din na yakan step number 1, assuming tension bars and compression bars yielded. So, the problem is implicitly telling you that this is doble reinforced. Okay, so diri T is equal to sila nga hawan naton equation. Pero anti nimo, di ba anti may dani mo TS1 plus TS2. TS1 plus TS2. Can you still remember? Di ba ansi naman may diri naka Okay. TS1 plus TS2 at saka yung C mo naman is duha gyud di ba to? The compression from concrete plus the compression from steel, di ba? Asa tiya, di ba? Nakakaget na naramdam ka mo? Okay.
Yes, sir.
TS1, this is AS1 multiplied by FY. FY tat gagamiton because we are to assume tension bars and compression bars yielded. Nag-yield hiya. So, gina-assume natin. That's why, FY tating gagamit din hi. Okay? O, didi kita TS2. TS2 is AS2 plus FY, di ba? FY lagi hap. Kaya nag-yield man hera. So, ngayon, ini nga duduha, since they are both nag-yield man, nga duha man itong hera tension bar, di ba? So, we can rewrite this as your AS1 plus AS2. That's actually your AS, di ba? AS FY. Ini nga duduha, that's your T. That is AS FY. This is equal to your CC. What's your CC? CC is 0.85 FC prime AB. Diba? Asya tiya? Plus your CS, that is AS prime multiplied by FY. We are assuming na nag-yield gihap tiya. Diba? Nag-yield hira nga duha. Okay, everything is given. Diba? This is your ES is 784 pi multiplied by 415. This is equal to 0.85. At C prime is 20.7 pala. 20.7. Your A is unknown. Your B is 350. Plus, of course, your ES prime, which is 392 pi. It's here. Diba? Adiman. 392 pi multiplied by Fy, which is 415. Okay, an aton assumption din hi, of course, diri na kita nag-assume nga double reinforced because we already know that it is indeed double reinforced. Ang aton gina-assume din hi is yung Fy mo. Fy anong ginamit? Ibig sabihin, you are assuming that the steel in compression and the steel in tension nag-yield. Okay? Resolve name with A. Okay. Resolve name with A. What's the value of your A? This is 784 pi over multiplied by 415. This is equal to 0.85 multiplied by 20.7 multiplied by 350A plus 392 pi multiplied by 415. We are to solve for the value of A. Should solve. Solving for A. The A is 82.99. Okay? You have there 82.99. This is in mm. How about your C? This is your A, di ba? Ano tong second step? Verify your assumption. Your C is equal to, add to C naton, 0.82, which is add to A, all over 0.85. Ano ba? 0.82. Your A, which is 82.99, A over 0.85. Your A is 82.99. The answer is 97.64. This is in mm. Okay. So, may ka na C. Okay. Dili mo na isosolve ang valuehan C max. Kaya maaram ka naman nga doble reinforce. Ang C max yung gagamit lahat to pag-check if that is singly or doble reinforced. Nasolve na natin kung ang C max. We already know that this is doble reinforced. Okay? Take note, diri nimo i-compare ini nga C didihan didtuhan C max kasi ini nga C na compute ini assuming that this is doble reinforced. Ang imo i-compare lahan C max ang gin-compute imo nga C assuming that is singly reinforced. Okay? So yan na, diri ka na mag-compute ng C max and imo i-compute instead is the value of your Fs. Fs is equal to 600 multiplied by D minus C over C. Diba? So this is equal to 600. Your D is 400. Your C is, it's there, 97.64 all over 97.64. You can solve for the value of your Fs. Operate Fs. Circular na yung ato C. This is 600 multiplied by, what's the D? 400 minus C. Nakastorya C, hindi na calculator. This is equal to 1858.12. 1858.12. This is in megapascal. So indeed, ibig sabihin, since Fs is greater than Fy, ibig sabihin we are correct to assume that the still in tension will yield. Okay? Fs. Greater than man yan 415, greater than man yan Fy. So nag-yield talaga hiya. You also have to check kung nag-yield ba talaga and still in compression. Di ba? How do we do that? Fs prime naman kita. Fs para iton han ES para han ES prime Fs prime tatlo gamiton. ES prime is equal to the same formula 600 minus 600 multiplied by this time instead nga D minus C, this is C minus D prime. Adi kasi kita yan na, di ba? Adit yung check D prime. Okay? C minus D prime over C. Your F is therefore is equal to, this is 600 multiplied by your C is again 97.64 minus your D prime is 70 all over 97.64. Diba? So your Fs prime is equal to, pera ba ito 600 multiplied by your D is, your C is 97.64. 0.64 minus 97.64 minus 70 all over 97.64. 97.64 minus 17. Okay. The answer is 169.85. 169.85. 169.85. This is in megapascal. Ada kay 169.85 megapascal ang imo Fs prime. Lower hiyahan Fs, Fy. Diba? So, mali ang imo assumption na nag-yield ang imo ES prime. Diba? Mali ang assumption na nag-yield ang compression bars. Pero, nag-specify ang problem, you have to assume nga nag-yield ang tension bars ngayon compression bars. Diba? So, ano ito yung ihahatag nga value? A. Didahit ko number 1. Nasa yung kasi problem, assume tension bars and compression bars yield. What is the value of A? Ada, ano na init answer? Diba? Amo na init answer ni mo. Imo ihahatag nga answer. Kung may dahini nga statement. Takay kunwaray, magsiring nga assume. Diba? Ano tin bubuhaton? Nasugat yung bubuhat ha. Mali ang imo assumption. An Fs prime is lower than Fy. So, there hiya mag-yield. What you do here is you go back to step number 1. Diba? Asya itong step number 1 and step number 2. Nagbabalik-balik la. I-delete ko ito ha. Mag-go back kita nga to step number 1. We will resolve the value of A. This time, the formula will be like this. Sasulat ko ha. Sasulat ko rin. Yung formula masaring kita, ES the area of steel in tension multiplied by Fy. Fy talaga tat gagamitin because we already know that magkukuan talaga siya. Mag-yield, di ba? An Fs. This is equal to 0.85 Fc prime AB plus, di ba? Plus, ano to? AS prime multiplied by, instead nga Fy tim gagamiton didi, maaram ka naman nga diri nag-yield. It mo gagamit didi is Fs prime. Okay?
Or kung mag-test ng asawa.
Pre, ako makakuan ma'am. Okay. Fs prime tim gagamiton. So, we are to substitute ha, sa substitute ko. Your AS is
Hi guys, welcome to my vlog.
Volume mo.
Hello, na-disconnect ako. Hain na ako di in the pit before ako na-disconnect. Hain na kita hadto di in the pit.
An hamay ko answer and A if not assume hiya. If waray mag-assume.
Hain na di in the pit. Can you see my screen?
Yes sir. Ano dila pala sir hamay ko 784 pi times 415. Dila pala sir.
This one. Dini pala talaga ore
Yes,
pa niya
sir.
di.
Yes,
Ore
sir.
pa niya di.
Yes sir.
Seryoso. Sorry, wala ako
Opo, sir.
sumabutan ako naka-disconnect. Sige, ini na. Erase ko ha, erase ko ini. Joker, it Wi-Fi. Yun na pala. 784 pi multiplied by 415 pi. May nagtunog again. Ano ito ka nagtunog? Okay.
Sir, ang compression bars lang ada sir, diri ma-yield.
O, di ba, we already found out the compression bars did not yield. Kay an EFS prime is 169.85 lang. Di ba? Okay. Asya ba? Di ba? Kita An F is not
Okay.
1858. So, nag-yield talaga hiya. So, that's why ato nibubutang diyan padisan ES, FY. Okay? Okay. Din ba ako last na nakuan? Sure ka mo? Ano daw? I-explain ko na lagi hap. Kay pag-record kasi bangin wala ka kuan. Okay, so what we do here, since we already know that the value of your Fs prime is lesser than Fy, we can therefore conclude that the steel in compression will not yield. Okay? And also, since your Fs is greater than Fy, we can therefore conclude that your tension bars, okay, your reinforcement in the tension reinforcement will yield. Okay? So that's why it aton equation din hi. Okay, an aton equation ha. Your equation here will be, okay, so that's why your equation here will be to AS multiplied by Fy. That's why Fy tat ginamit because nag-yield and still in tension. This is equal to 0.85 Fc prime AB plus the area of the steel in compression multiplied by this time diri Fy. Fs prime tat gagamiton. Kay wari man mag-yield. Diri nimo igpipirit nga Fy. Kay imo gani piriton nga Fy, maapektuhan na nimo valuehan A, diba? Ibig sabihin lahi itong dida, ini nga section diri niya tanan nagagamit ang capacityhan Fy. An iya nagagamit la kutob lahi ni dinhi. Diba? Yeah, so Fs at gagamiton. Pero diri nimo isa-substitute ini nga Fs nga value nga di because again, ini nga Fs na solve ini using the value of C nga gin-solve nimo di using the value of A assuming that both nag-yield, di ba? Kay wari man hira nag-yield. So ini nga Fs diri ini mismo ni isa-substitute nganhi ang formula ang Fs ani mo sa substitute ngadto. Diba? So this will be your ES is equal to 784 pi multiplied by your Fy is 415. Are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Bakit
Sir.
Yes sir.
Bangin na naman ako na disconnect. This is equal to 0.85 Fc prime which is 20.1 20.7 multiplied by A, that's the unknown, diba? Multiplied by B, which is 350, plus your AS prime. May nakita value ang AS prime na, diba? Okay. Your AS prime is this one, 392 pi. This is 392 pi multiplied by Fs. Ang formula ng Fs, ibubang din diri kay ang value ng Fs. In-explain ko na kanina. This is 600 multiplied by C. Unknown ang C minus D prime which is 70 all over C. Okay? As you can see, there are two unknowns. Yung value ng C mo at saka yung A. But luckily, you know the relationship between A and C, di ba? This is beta 1 times C, di ba? So what we can do here, we can express one unknown in terms of the other. Okay, i-express natin yung A in terms of C. So this will be, while in-express ko, iyan ko na lang, i-simplify. Simplify ko na lang ha. 784 pi multiplied by 415, that is 1022 148. This is 1022 148.586. Diba? This is equal to, i-simplify ko na lang din, 0.85 multiplied by FC, which is 20.7 times 350. Result is 6158.25. 6158.25. Is that right? Multiplied by A. Diba? Multiplied by A. Pero yung A, express ko siya in terms of C. And this is beta 1 times C. But your beta 1, ano ko lang yung beta 1. Yung beta 1 mo is equal to 0.85 multiplied by C, diba? 0.85 because your FC is lesser than 28 megapascal. Okay? Pero i-multiply ko na lang nga duha ini para din ako magbalik-balik. Okay? So this is 6158 times 0.85. Result is 5234. 5234.51. Okay, let me erase this one. Okay. 5234. 5234.51. C. Asa ba? Plus, operate yada. 392 pi multiplied by 600 multiplied by C minus 70 all over C close bracket. Okay, as you can see, pirate unknown dida. Kita aton bagong equation. Divide unknown dida ko na lang. Usa na lang, the value of C. Okay, we can solve for the value of C here. Your C is, let's see mo dida, 1022.148.586. This is equal to 5234.51 multiplied by C plus 392 pi multiplied by 600 multiplied by C minus 70 over C. Diba? Close parenthesis. We are trying to solve for the value of C. Shift solve. Kangina, ang answer natin is 97. Ang value sa C, di ba? Kita adi man. Di man atong value at C. Okay, when you press equal, the value of the new C is 130. Okay, so this is 130.08. This is in mm. This is your C. Okay? Kung depth of compression block ang ibibiling ko nimo an A. You just need to multiply the C by 0.85 or the value of your beta 1. So your E is equal to 110.56. This is in mm. Okay, so kung waray nagbutang didi, ang problem, nasa rin kasi ang problem assuming tension bar and compression bar yields. Okay? And imo answer is this one. Takay nagbutang man hiyan, nasa rin nga mag-assume ka dapat nga duha nag-yield. Ang imo valuean ang kanina nga aton na solve, it imo ihahatag nga problem. Pero kung waray nagbutang, you still have to check, plus it imo i-solve nga how, and valuehan A. This is 110.56. Okay? Okay ba? Any question? May pakiana before we proceed? Ada pa ba kamo? Waray pakiana? Waray mapakiana, sir. Kaya ano diri nala Fs? Or Fs prime diretso amon ibutang. Kaya ano nga kailangan pa i-check? Kaya ano diri nila diretso Fs? Kung later on, Fs malangahaw itamon ibubutang nga how dida. So ganyan na ginbuhat natin, di ba? Fs natin ibutang dito. Okay, the reason is take note, capacity imo still is only limited to Fy. You cannot go beyond the value of your Fy. Imo nga ni valuean inihin Fs dayon-dayon. possible it makuha nimo dida nga value with Fs is greater than 415, which is not right because your Fy is only limited to the capacity of the steel, which is the Fy. Diba? So kung pananglitan nag imo Fs diri sa nimo ginbutang dinhi, pag solve nimuhan A, imo nga how isosolve ang valuehan Fs, you need to make sure nga waray talaga siya mag-yield, di ba? This time i-check nimo nga dapat diri siya mag-yield kay Fs diri sa nimo gingamit. Di ba? So asit nananabuhi itong dida. Parang first you need to check laan kung waray good man mag-yield. Bangin nag-yield, di ba? Wait mabubuhat ito. So it mao pa dida assume kalaanay nga both did not yield, then later check katas kung hain na nag-yield, valuein Fs and formula in Fs. If it is the area in tension, valuein Fs. If it's the area in compression, value and formulahan Fs prime. Okay? Nakuha? Okay. Pero adton aton valuehan A kanina, nag-assume kita nga tension bar assuming that the tension bar and compression bar yield. Pero adto
82.99.
82.99.
82.99, di ba? Ayan, aton answer didi is 82.99 mm. Asit imo i-answer kay nag-instruct man ang problem. Okay? Pananglitan mo rin nag-instruct, adi it imo answer. Okay? So bisan pa itong dida nagkukuan dida it problem na-oppose it problem hit what you know, di ba? You follow the instruction on the problem, especially the board exam. Okay. So in solving for the value of mu, adit at gagamiton ha. Pero dapat adit yung gagamiton kasi as it instruction it problem. Pero for the sake light discussion, adit at gagamiton ha. Kasi dapat adi man talaga it gagamiton. Pero man yakanan problem nga, we are to assume that tension bar and compression bar is yield. So adi at gagamiton. Now, we are sure that the value of A is 110.56. So ano aton sunod nga bubuhaton? Iso-solve naton and value han reduction factor. Okay, iso-solve natin and value han reduction factor. So how do we do that? Okay. Oh, wait lang. I-check nga how. I-check daw natin kung nag-yield good man talaga. Let's try to check the value of your Fs first. This is 600 multiplied by D multiplied by D minus A was the value D minus C pala. This is 130.08 over 130.08. So your Fs is equal to, pero ito niya, D is 400, di ba? Excuse me, 130.08 over 130.08. Pareho kabutangihin minus. So this is equal to, Peretia. Oh, obviously, way beyond the value of Fy here. So nag-yield talagaan still in tension. Okay, 1, 2, 4, 5 dito nakabutang. 1, 2, 4, 5. This is in megapascal. This is way beyond the value of Fy, di ba? So nag-yield talaga hiya. O kung yan imo gin substitute ngadto an Fy, pananglitan diri Fy ano gingamit didi an F and formula an Fs kadi na sobra kahing kuan, na sobra kahan valuehan Fy, which is not right again because your capacity for the steel is only limited to Fy. Okay, so nga kita Fs prime is equal to, pwede diretsohon na lang natin. Di ba 600 multiplied by ano to C minus D prime, di ba? Your C is 130.08 minus D prime, which is 70, all over 130.08. The answer is, pero ito niya, 277.12. So, amo la init ginggagamit han, amo la ini ang ginggagamit han ano, han imo compression bar. Diri niya ginggagamit tanan niya capacity nga 450.
Ay, thank you. I thought not.
Kinulasan ako. Kinulasan ako.
Ano wala kayaki? Wala ko nagdara.
It's okay. Okay, so the answer, I mean, your FS prime is 277.12.
Free Wi-Fi for all?
Free Wi-Fi for all.
Dili ka na nakakuha na akon. Hotspot.
Diri na, ma'am.
Pero Sir Mark, di ko maaram ka. Okay. Okay, man.
Waray? Diri na, Dara.
Kandaan ito. Ang kanang kandaan pati yung mga kandaan pa. Oo. Mag-open color.
Okay. So, wala na ha. You have the value of your FS and FS prime. Oh, makakasolve na kita ng MU. Okay, di ba? Makakasolve na kita ng MU. Paano natin isusubit MU? Step number 3 na kita.
Oh. 18 years old, tira ko mga design ako. Pero
Okay, MU. How do we solve for the value of your MU? Di ba an aton MU, ano to MU, MN laanay, di ba? Wait lang. Before we solve for MU ngayon, kailangan lang natin i-solve an reduction factor. Okay, kasi may dakita valuehan sina, di ba? You can solve for the reduction factor. Or may dakita valuehan, ano to? FS. Tama, FS at gagamiton. Pero ato FS, pare ko ginbutang kasi ang decimal. 1245.018. Butang ko lang didi ha. Okay. We will solve for the value of your fee. Ano to? If you can still remember, nasa ring ato, di ba? If your FS is less than or equal to FY, your value for your fee is equal to 0.65. If your FS is greater than or equal to 1,000, your fee is equal to 0.85. Somewhere in between these two, you will interpolate, di ba? Linear interpolation lang somewhere in between the two. Okay. So, since your FS is way beyond the value of 1,000, way beyond 1,000, ibig sabihin, imo reduction factor, this is not 0.85 ba? This is, okay, so, if your FS is greater than or equal to 1,000, your fee is equal to 0.9. Okay, and again, somewhere in between, you will interpolate. Linear interpolation lang yan. So, obviously, your FS is greater than 1,000, di ba? So, imo fee is 0.9. You have the value of your fee na, 0.9. Okay. The value of your MN lang muna. Your MN is equal to, di paano ito? MN1 plus MN2. Asya ba? Di ba asya itong hiya? Anaton MN, where your
Yes,
MN,
sir.
yes, where your MN is equal to 0.85 FC prime AB multiplied by D minus A over 2. Diba? And your MN2 is equal to AS prime multiplied by FS prime multiplied by D minus D prime. Diba? We have the MN. Okay, let's try to solve na lang with the calculator. 0.85, your FC prime is 20.7 multiplied by your A, you already know the value of A, 110, 111, 110 pala, 110.56 multiplied, which is 350. Multiplied by D, which is 400 minus A, your A again is 110.56 over 2. First, this is the value of your MN1. Store ko lang ito ha A ha, para dire ako mag-on. And MN1 can store ko ha A. Now, I will solving for the value of your MN2. The value of your MN2 is equal to AS prime, which is 3392 pi multiplied by Fs prime. Nasolve na natin ng Fs prime, di ba? 277.12 multiplied by d minus d prime. D is 400, d prime is 70. Okay, this one, I'll store it to value of b. So your sum, a plus b is equal to this one. This is in Newton mm. Convert ko yan to kilonewton meter. Press N. Bye, ma'am. The value, therefore, for mn is equal to 347.33. 347.33. Okay, for 33, this is in kilonewton. This is in kilonewton meter. This is your mn. Yung papabiling ayo is mu. This is equal to phi times mn. Operate mu. You just multiply the result by your reduction factor, 0.9. And that is 312.59. This is in kilonewton meter. This is now the final answer for number 2, the value of your mu. Okay? Now, for the take note ha, ang akong gingamit din wala ako pagsunodan yan pero dapat nagsunod ka mo. Did it iyo quizzes, did it exam, whatever is the instruction, did it problem, sundan ninyo ha. Dili ko ginsusunod because I want to demonstrate kung paano ginso-solve. Okay? Pero dito, ibig sabihin yan, yung gagamiton is A. No need to check na kay nasa rin did problem, you have to assume that the tension of the compression bar sealed. Okay, pero din atong solution, wala ako pag-follow because I want to demonstrate the solution. Okay, so you have the value of your mu. Let me erase this. Or, ibutan ko di ba nginakingalimot? Or bang inadiha ako siya calculator? 130.08. Ang akon A, 100. Oops, there ngayon. Okay. Oh, diri ko naman kailangan because we already have the value of mu. Erase ko na lang. Okay. You have your mu. And number 3, ang pinakukuha is the value of additional live load daw at the midspan. If an IMU dead load is 20 kilonewton per meter, 20 kilonewton per meter, ano daw ang additional nga live load and pwede ibutang ha midspan? So may dani mo din diba nasa ring? Simply supported beam. May daw din ano niya? This is W, which is 20 kilonewton per meter. Pero adtuan ko an? Muri nakabutang kung perakas span niya. Check ko ha, kung span. Ada, ano ito niya? 6 meters. 6 meter long simply supported reinforced concrete beam. As a width, okay. 6 meters pala. 6 meters. So the value is 6 meters, yung span. Okay. So, tapos may daw, ano niya ka na problem? May daw concentrated load, habot nga. Amo niyan PLL or the live load. Pero daw it magnitude hini. Okay? Take note, ang capacity imo ultimate moment capacity is this one. 312.59. Okay, so if you try to solve for the value of the PL, i-equate mo la ini ang maximum moment hini nga system to the value of your mu. Di ba? So how do we do that? Okay, before we compute for the maximum moment, take note nga at given din ini, these are service loads. Service loads, diri pa hiya factored load, unfactored load pa hiya. May nakita kasi ni sir nga factored load, ngayon service load. Sabi nga service load, yan service load pa iton hiya. So may nga factored load, for example, dida kasi hit ultimate design. If you are given, say for example, the value of your Dead load is equal to 15 kilonewton per meter. Pananglitan. Tas ani mo, W live load is equal to 10 kilonewton per meter. These are service loads. An actual load nga iraging ki-carry. Dida hit design, hit ultimate strength design, parang may nakita sinisiri nga factored load. Okay, ginfa-factor pa natin iton here because we want to be conservative in our design. Okay, para dakuon naton ini nga load, para it makukompute naton nga stress is dako, ibig sabihin mas conservative kita. Para bisan dumako ini nga force, parang kayaan aton design pa, di ba? Nagigits na yung logic. Para dakuon naton ini, para pero in actual amo lang iya na experience nga load, it iya capacity nga load, pero para dakuon naton hit aton computation para aton mako-compute nga dimension nga designhan beam is parang mas stronger hiya kontra han capacity niya ngayon hila nga 15 ngayon 20, di ba? So may nakita sinisini nga factored load. These are service load. It factored load nimo is for 2001 NCP 2001, this is your factor load is 1.4, I think 1.4 dead load plus 1.7 live load. For NCP 2010 and 2015, that is 1.2 dead load plus 1.6 live load. Nag-gets ninyo? Di ba gipadako natin ang mga load dida? Asa ini it factored load. So dinhi it imo ultimate moment nimo is factored load ha. Para it imo i-compare nga nit moment nimo, ultimate moment is the factored load. O yung mga unfactored pa man inhiya, mga service load. So you have to multiply this pa. Yung 20 nimo, this is dead load including the weight of the beam. Nasa ringan problem kasi including the weight of the beam. Ano man, determine the additional concentrated live load that can be applied at the midspan if the dead load including the weight of the beam, diba, is 20 kilonewton. O pananglitan, wari magyakan nga including the weight of the beam. You still have to include the weight of the beam. Imo ibubutang pananglitan diri upod an weight hand beam hini nga 20 kilonewton. Iko-compute mo pa it weight hit beam. Usually naghahatag ito net problem in unit weight and concrete. Or kung diri man maghatag in unit weight hit concrete, you assume that the specific gravity of concrete is 2.4. 2.4. So para ma-solve nimo an gamma an unit weight and concrete, this is equal to specific gravity multiplied by the gamma of water, di ba? So kung concrete ang atong gibibiling, this is 2.4 multiplied by para ato yun 9.81, di ba? Asya tiya, this is the concrete. Parang concrete issue. Kung diri given, o may ka na gamma at concrete, what will you do with the gamma? You multiply it by the area, di ba? Imo multiply an imo unit weight with the cross-sectional area of your section, di ba? Tapos nakukuha mo na an sugad hini nga load, kilonewton per meter. Okay, pero nayakan man ang problem nga this includes the weight na. So no need to compute for the weight. Okay. So ini again service load here, you still have, since dead load man here, dead load, diba? Dead load. You have to multiply it by 1.2. Adi kita ha NSFP 2015. Okay, 20 multiply mo pa it 1.2 20. Okay? 1.2. How about the live load? Live load, you still have to multiply this by later na lang. Later na lang pagkuan. Gina nala para di kita malipat. So yung PL mo, this should be 0 pa. 1.7 pala. 1.6 I mean. 1.6 live load. Okay? Adit yung bibiling natin. So how do we do this? Sige daw, ano iya mga reaction din eh? Yung reaction dida is, para ba ito niya? 20, 1.2 times 20. Pero 1.2 times 20.
24.
Pera?
24.
24. 24 times 6, pera daw. 24 times 6
144.
144. O, divide it by 2,
22 po.
72. So this is 72. This is 72. These forces are from the 1.2 times 20 lang ha. May ka pa 1.6 PL. Diba? Plus 1.6 PL over 2. Diba? Plus 1.6 PL. PLL pala ini, PLL. This is 72 plus 1.6 PLL. PLL over 2. Pero at 1.6 over 2. 1.6 over 2. 4 over 5. Okay. Gamitin natin 4 over 5. This is 4 PLL over 5 plus 4 PLL over 5. Nagets niyo kung di rin nakuha? Pakiana ka mo kung di rin nagets. Sige daw. Nagets or waray?
Okay, sir.
Come again? Hello? Waray ka gets? Waray pakiana? Hello? Hi?
Paano na ko, sir?
Okay. Paano na, ang 72 lang, di ba ito ating loads? Yan hi, tapos yadi, EL. Yung kukuha natin ang reaction din. Reaction leton hiya, guys. They are symmetric, so kukuha ko lang totality hini nga forces, then divide ko in 2. Unahan ko yadi nga uniformly distributed load. The totality of the force of the uniformly distributed load is just equal to the magnitude of the load multiplied by the span. 1.2 times 20, that's the magnitude of the load. Pera?
24.
24, di ba?
Yes, sir.
1.2 times 20, that is 24. Multiply ko han span, which is 6. That is 144. So, ang totality han yan is 144. Duduha man hira magtutunga. Adi nga support ngayon, adi nga support. Divide 2. 72. Ama di adi nga 72. Okay? Adi naman, ini nga force pagtutungan gap it nira. O, pera man ikatungay 1.6 PLL. Di ba 1.6 divide 2.
0.8.
0.8 or 4 over 5. Is it 4 over 5, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Amo na tiya. Gets?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Oh, you have the value of your forces. Take note, since this is simply supported beam, maram kita nga iya maximum moment is ada di that nga. Let me use another color daw. Para diri kita. Oops, what happened? Let me use another color. Blue. Kaya magpas kita yung cutting plane, it imo maximum moment, ada ito natural, di dahit boot nga. Diba? Ada ito di dahit imo maximum moment. I-isolate tayo tiyada ang aging cut natin. Let me erase this one. Nabalik kita nga theory of structure. Basta na kita din this is your beam. This is your cutting plane. Bida ni mo force DD. Ano ang force? Wait, takdo gamitan. Para dili kita malipat. Bida ni mo force DD. Ano nga force? This is 72 plus, 0.8, diba? 0.8 or 4 over 5 PLL. Okay? Ano pa? Bida ni mo din Try niya 1.2 times 20. That is 24 kilonewton meter. An imo 1.6 PLL, di rin na makikita di kaya ada madidayat cutting plane. Ay nat igbinutang. Adi dati mga duduha nga forces. This distance, pero nga distance. That is 3 meters. Yung kukuha natin an moment. Okay? O, paano natin makukuha at moment? O, dili. Summation of moment at the cutting plane. This is your cutting plane, di ba? Summation of the moment from this cutting plane should be equal to 0. Di ba? Asya ba itiya? Okay. Taking clockwise as the positive moment. Ano ba mga clockwise moment dinhi hini nga axis. You have there 72 plus 0.8 PLL, di ba? This is 72 plus 0.8 PLL multiplied by 3 meters, di ba? Or 3 na lang, di ko na bubutang 8 meters. Multiplied by 3. Okay, minus ko 24. Di ba? Minus 24 times 3. Tapos ang iyang moment arm is 3 over 2. Di ba? What else? Of course, yun nga M. Plus M. This is equal to 0. Your M therefore is equal to pera itiya. Di ba this is your equation? Kita daw ninyo. This is your working equation. Kita. This is your working equation. And M din amo niya nga MU. Actually mo nga ako ha? Liwat. This is your equation coming from this figure. Okay? And M ni mo, amo niya nga MU. Substitute ni mo nga da. Masasolve ni mo ang PLL. Okay? Let me erase it yadi. Oh, what's the value of your PLL? Ito, 72 plus 0.8. PLL, it's the unknown, multiplied by 3 minus 24 times 3 times 3 over 2 plus M. Your M is 312.59. This is equal to 0. Shift solve. Okay. I think mali tak assumption din 175 bit nakabutang dira, di ba? Mali atak assumption din. This is the M here is parang pasugad. Your M. Tama. Sugad it M ni mo kasi di ba? Di ba? And this is simply supported and atong given. It pag bend niya is pasugad. So natural kung imo i-cut dida pag bend na sugad, dapat an moment na sugad. Para ma-bend hiya pasugad, di ba? Na smile. Okay. So dapat ang direction and moment pasugad. So mali na ako na assumption. Mga negative with answer. So this is minus. Okay, let me solve it again. This is minus. Pero pareho lang ulit numerical value. Shift solve. Oh, iba. 175. The answer is 85.25. Is that right? Kitaan ko ha. 720.8 PL times 3 minus 24 times 3 times 3 over 2 minus 312.59. Okay. Shift solve. Okay, the answer is, ano na daw? So, wait lang. Hain daw laan ko an. Paano? Wait lang. Ayun daw. An M ni mo is tama. Dapat sugadin it imo assumption it imo M. The direction of the M is this one. Okay. So the answer is 85.25. This is ano to? An PLL. PLL is equal to 85.25. This is in kilonewton. Okay. This is in kilonewton. So this is the live load. Okay? Okay. Any question? May dapat ba kay ana kung kay ano sugad dapat it assumption? Di ba? Again, explain ko. The simply supported hiya. Di ba pag bend niya it elastic curve nasugad, di ba? Nasugad it elastic curve. Ibig sabihin, yung mga ikat dida, it pag bend dapat niya is parang kumbaga it pag bend niya, kung ikat niya mo dida, parang concave upward hiya. Di ba nasugad concave upward. Concave upward leton hiya if the movement is pasugad. Okay, so dapat ang direction niya is sugad hini. O kung pananglitan na naton ginpili nga kuan, kung pananglitan na naton ginpili nga tawag ini nga section is to the right nga section. Di ba ang it iya pag kuan concave upward, so dapat ang moment pasugad naman. Kung ang kabila nga section na naton gingamit. Okay, so the answer is 85.25 kilonewton. 85.25 kilonewton. Sige daw, let us try daw. I-try daw natin kung ano it iya maximum moment if PLL is 85.25. Okay, let me erase this one. Kung magpapareho good man dito hit ano. Hit MU. Erase ko. Okay, tapos na kita yung 20 minutes. Wait lang ha, timahon ko na ulit yan eh. So, nasa rin aton kuan, nasa rin aton figure. May naka mong klase after hini? Kan Ma'am Arjane, di ba? Siya ba? Are you still there? Init yung klase after hini. Waray, wala na na mamati sa akon.
Okay, sir. Worry po.
Waray, okay. Let me erase this one. Also, pero add to 85, pero i-multiply mo pa yung 1.6, di ba? Pero 85.25 times 1.6. Sige daw. Oops. 85.25 times 1.6.
136.4.
This is in kilonewton. Operate iya ko ano to? Moment. Diba? Moment M max is equal to WL squared over 8 plus PL over 4. Pero in here, W is 24, L is 6. Oops, 6 squared over 8. Plus your PL is 136.4 times 6 over 4. Dili pa gud siya. Oh, di ba? 312.59. Nagets niyo? 312.59. Okay. Ini nga formula, pwede gyap nga niyo gamitin yung formula. Nakalimut ako, may nga yung formula. Okay, pwede niyo gamitin yung formula. Di ba? Equate niyo ang MN max din hita para ma-solve niyo ang P. Kaya nakalimut ako ang formula. May dahil yung formula ha. This is the formula. Ini, this is the maximum moment for uniformly distributed load. Okay? Adi, this is the maximum moment for concentrated load at the midspan. PL over 4. Pwede nga yung edit po gamiton. Any questions so far? May pakiana? That's the end of my discussion today. Tomorrow, discuss ko ang non-rectangular beams. May pakiana? Hello? Alright, sige. Perfect na kamo with exam. Sige. Can you open your camera? Let me take a screenshot. Is it recording? Okay, let me stop the presentation. Okay. Iba din naka-open. Okay, sige. Let me take a screenshot. Print screen, smile. Ganun. Okay. I-announce ko na lang ano, it iyo ko an requirement, it iyo final requirement. It iyo final requirement for this course will be a program, an Excel program. Magpo-program ka mo pag magpo-program ka mo tawag ini pag-compute, okay, pag-design, hit di ba damo kasi kalain it kuan it concrete structure. May kita beam, may kita slab, may kita footing, may kita column. Okay? Tapos i-divide ko kamo according to those structure or structural members. Then what you do, mo ka may program nga nagko-compute hit number of bars, okay, number of bars for a certain structure, for a certain given parameters. Okay, so dapat explain ko iyo later. Parang yun na pa lang i-announce ko na lang, tapos explain ko it project prompt niyo. Okay, so amit iwihimuon. Yun. Okay, gusto ko lang i-announce na para maka-prepare ka mo. Excel program. Excel it aton gagamiton. Okay, so yun lang. Kung wala na pakiana, you are dismissed if you don't have any question na. Thank you again for listening to my lecture and I really hope you learned something new again. Okay, so you are dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Happy birthday, Rebecca.
Wow, birthday ni Rebecca. Happy birthday. Bye.